Ya.
Hey guys.
¿Qué onda, raza? ¿Cómo andan? Bueno, ya me arreglo los pelillos. ¿Cómo andan? ¿Cómo andan?
Hey guys.
What's up? What's up?
Hey guys.
Otra vez con un nuevo episodio de un Gallito podcast. And today we on kind of like some like serious type shit. Serious vibes. And more than anything, it's just like real life type shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, basically, shout outs to this one dude, Jose. He put up a picture of an article, right? And it was called Gentrification of Marijuana. And what's the specific title? What's the actual title?
What you said?
Gentrification of Marijuana, the construction of whiteness through legal marijuana. Yo, and that shit like was fucking like, I could not stop reading that bitch. That bitch is like 90 pages and boy.
It is so good. It was written by Carmen Mabee from the University of Colorado.
It was deep shit, man. It was wild.
And I just want to say that I really like your article. Yeah, I feel like you put a lot of detail and you had a lot of stuff to back
research,
everything
studies
up.
And shit.
Yeah,
like
it was really
the cool thing is too, like
really good.
The studies, like she went out of her way to like create studies on her own type shit.
Yeah,
which is deep as fuck. But so anyways, the overall like goal of the paper was really to kind of just talk about how like up until recently that marijuana like kind of became legal per se, or like less associated with like bad, right? Like now all of a sudden it's starting to get associated with like white people type shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, and not only that, like she was talking about how like basically the market, like the legal market of marijuana got set up to where only like white people can really get into it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like without making it like an actual like racial thing.
Yeah.
But what they did is like, so basically they made it so if you had a previous crime conviction of marijuana, you cannot get into the marijuana business at all. Like you can't even get a job in the marijuana business at all. If you have a previous conviction, no matter like if it's like a whole fucking just like you got caught with like a couple grams of weed. Like if you have a conviction, like you can't get into the business, right? And then not only that, most of the fucking places have like a huge ass fucking fee to pay. Like to get into it, just to get the licensing and all that, you know what I'm saying?
This would be like in New York.
Yeah.
In other states, the fee is less, so it's less for in areas where there's a higher white population. So like for example, in New York, I think she said it was like 4 or 5.
Yeah, there was only 4 or 5, but New York's just medical.
Yeah, but still their fee was up to like 10,000.
Yeah, some shit like that.
As crazy opposed to the other ones, it was like 4,000.
Yeah.
So that $6,000.
But yeah, so like that goes back to the whole thing. Like obviously, like as fucked up as it is, like that basically sets it up for like white people, who have been able to throughout history, keep creating success generation to generation, right? Like it just sets them up with a better positioning to get into and capitalize and basically take over the industry that was really dominated by minorities. You know what I'm saying? Like marijuana was really a minority type of thing. But then all the minorities ended up in jail for it. Like motherfuckers are really doing lifetime in prison over marijuana.
Or like 2 joints.
Like not even like actual like connected with the crime. Like literally just for like possession of marijuana, they're like doing life in prison type shit.
Like non-violent.
Yeah, like it was crazy. It was a statistic that was in that one.
Another thing that I liked about Carmen was she said in her article that throughout this whole throughout her whole research and her through her paper, she wasn't gonna call it cannabis. She was gonna call it what it is, marijuana.
So the interesting thing about that, which you kind of didn't explain, but was like that. So cannabis was obviously like the name that it was before, and then marijuana was the name that basically they started using to try to make it sound like foreign, make it sound exotic. Make it sound like the Mexicans and the immigrants were bringing it over, and they was just trying to take over everybody's
something
like
exotic that to scare the white people. So it'd be like, oh, it's marijuana. It like makes them act violent.
Yo, so like look at after we listened to this paper, I started looking at other articles and whatnot, and so basically, if y'all don't know the like story, it's crazy, right? The dude that basically the dude's name is what? Fucking Harry Anslinger, right? His name's Harry Anslinger. And that man basically became the head of the Prohibition Department, right? And basically the Prohibition Department people, they were the ones in charge of enforcing the prohibition of alcohol. Now, when this man came into power, Prohibition had just ended, right? Like, so this man's basically like
left at a situation with nothing to work.
Exactly. Like, he's like, okay, hold up. Like, either I need to come up with some shit, basically, that I can like fight and push, or I'm finna be without a job.
Yeah.
So basically, this man, what he did is he built this whole campaign around fear, right? And he started saying that like immigrants were bringing marijuana, and not only that, like and I know some of y'all seen it. Like anyone that smokes, I know y'all seen the propaganda posters from like the 30s when they would say that it was like the devil, and that like when you smoked weed, it turned you into like this evil, violent person, right? But not only that, one of the craziest things was the fact that they used white women in those articles to like scare white men into being like, oh no, fuck marijuana. So basically what they would say that if white women smoked marijuana, it would make them want to be with minorities, with black people, with Mexicans or Asians, like that it would make them crazy type shit.
Yeah.
And that's how the minorities would use marijuana to like control the white people, and that's what really caused the fear and made that shit illegal.
And then also the minorities that were smoking, they would also use white women in their videos to have the white men fear the woman being with a minority, because the woman was considered
Wait, the minorities would do that too?
What do you mean?
The minorities would put white women in their stuff?
In the videos?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't there be like African American in the video?
But the white people would put the African American. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just because women were considered men's property.
Yeah, for sure. I thought you were saying that minorities made like their own propaganda, like coqueando like low key coqueando the white people, like videos like we spoken with your girls.
Hey, we got a crock pot.
No, but yeah, so like and yeah, like you said, like that's why obviously like the white man got so outraged at this, like, oh, they're trying to take advantage of, and that leads to another thing, which is kind of interesting to me, is that like basically the form of like women delicacy and women like like women as delicate, as fragile, is always depicted with like a white woman, like a petite white woman.
Yeah, like, ooh, I'm so innocent.
Right. Yeah, innocent. That's what I was saying.
Miedo.
Like, that's how it's always depicted. And then like a black woman is kind of always depicted as this like hood, like crazy, ghetto. Yeah.
I'm gonna beat
you.
Right?
Is it?
Yeah, or no? You.
Like that has like in modern culture, that's really how it's always depicted. Like it's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild as fuck.
I'll tell you who scares me the most.
That shit hella wild. But before we continue, you already know we gotta.
Yeah. So read to me a little bit of your notes. And we've been on this all day.
Shout out Raw.
You guys already know Raw.
Well,
okay, so I wrote down a question. This is from her article. I said, are people, the minorities that have been in jail for a while now, when they do get out, are they going to have some kind of what does that say? Recompension?
Yeah, like recompensation.
Yeah.
Or compensation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if so, what, how, or how much, or how are they gonna do this? or if they're just gonna be like, no, we cannot help you.
I'm having hella difficulties today.
It's gonna be a little annoying if you could see my ring light through my glasses, but I really cannot see anything, and these are prescription. So is this mask.
But so yeah, right. One of the things that was interesting to me, touching back on like the whole marijuana business people, right? Of all the, once marijuana became legal, of all the executives, literally 71% are male, and 81%. No, 71%. Yeah, 71% are male and 81% are white. Like, that's wild. Like, think about that, yo. Like, these are like probably most of the same people that like was teaching their kids and shit. Let me see if I can fix this shit, because low-key I tweaked out.
What's going?
There's probably some of the same people that deadass was like preaching how bad marijuana was type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's nuts.
Yeah.
To think about, right? And then so like what you were saying about like, are they gonna get compensation for the time that they did? So like this one in the article was one of the craziest things to me, right? So when asking legal marijuana users, right, and they were white, legal marijuana users, about how they feel some of these people should be treated like afterwards, if their record should get expunged or anything like that, right? You know what they said? They was like, oh, well, it depends, right? Well, a couple of them, they were like, it depends. Like, for example, my dealer, he probably shouldn't get in trouble, but like the gangbangers that kill people and like they have all this money, they should probably keep it on their record, right?
Okay.
And then so like basically what you can like kind of deduce from that is like the white kid that's just like selling in the neighborhood, he should be okay.
Yeah.
Right? But like the gangbanger, the black dude, the Hispanic dude that's like out there actually going out of his way to get it to the little white kid should do the jail.
That I'm not okay with that.
Right, so that's deep too. Because basically, that kind of cuts into this idea, man, this dude be getting high as fuck. That cuts into the idea.
Sorry, Gallito.
That cuts into the idea, like, literally, like, they use those, like, kind of subtle things, right? To kind of, like, hide. And I don't really want to say racism, because the people aren't necessarily racist, but it is like a racist type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because even when you look back,
like preference,
when
like you prefer your kind,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For sure. Like even when you look back, when like the whole war on drugs really started, like you can deadass look at the simple fact that fucking white people and minorities have always smoked marijuana. We'll just use marijuana as an example.
Yeah.
At around the same rate, right? Literally, at around the same rate in history. But minorities are incarcerated like 4 times more often for marijuana.
Yeah.
Like that's like, think about that though. You know what I'm saying? But then think about it like this, right? What area has more cops? What areas have more cops actually patrolling? More cops being like a little bit more tough or more on the lookout?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, in our normal area, would Lake Forest or like North Chicago or Waukegan have more cops? You feel me?
Yeah. I'm laughing because like I know where the cops are at.
That's what I'm saying. So like, it's like, it's almost like it was like this whole thing set up to like kind of maintain a sort of like hold on minorities. You know what I mean? Because like literally, you look at it as a simple fact that like there's more cops in areas where minorities are prevalent. You know what I'm saying? Where there's more minority.
And then I do remember reading that they would get 5 to 7 years in prison and a $2,000 fee.
Oh yeah. Just for the first offense, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we're talking about, what year was that they said? I don't want to be like a long time ago.
It was like 1930s, I think.
Yeah, $2,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
At that time.
That shit's crazy.
I was like, oh my god, 2,000?
Yeah, hell yeah, that shit. Wow.
That's crazy.
And so another one of the things that was nuts to me was that so like one of the studies she did, she actually took like, I believe 30 ads, if I'm not mistaken. I believe, yeah, she took 30 ads, right? And of those 30 ads, like she just looked at them, right, to see like who were the people that were being targeted. Right? Now think about the fact, right? Like you would think like it would be diverse, right? Everyone smokes. Right? Now, the crazy thing is, like they literally use almost all fucking white people. Of the 30 ads, it was just in the 30 ads, it was like there was 90 people total. There was only one black person and one Asian person used.
Yeah. Should we like show one of the pics?
Yeah. Like it was like here, let me film. It was like it was crazy, right? So like they're trying to market it as this like this mom kind of thing.
Yeah, and
like this like classy look. Like this one's crazy look.
Did you put your hand behind like
to try to hide it?
Yeah.
Like yeah, man. So like
enhance a higher standard. That is crazy.
Like now, so now basically they're trying to paint it as like this, like, oh, it's not bad. Like don't worry about it. It's cool. Like it's the yoga mom. Like like they're trying to create it into this thing. Like, oh, I just do it after work. But when the minorities was doing it type shit, it was like oh, they're doing it and they're going out and committing crimes. Yeah, like it's crazy how they just changed it now that they're trying to get everyone to, because now they realize like how much money it is, how much money they can make. Literally, the fucking states that are legalized in 2017, they made over $9 billion. In 2017, like just alone, over $9 billion. Like that's fucking crazy. That's fuck. That's hella wild, man. Like, so anyways, now that they have now that they have the realization of how much money they can make on it, now they're trying to get people to get into it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like now they're like, okay, like
trying to make it the normal. Like,
exactly.
And they start with the moms. Why the moms? Always. The moms carry the kids.
The white women too.
And kids see that, so they're gonna be like, it's okay. Do you
Definitely.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it, like,
for sure.
Goes on and on. Like, if my mom was to smoke, then I would see her. Then I would do it. So it goes like,
that's crazy.
The mom is the target because the mom is the one that carries kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they can't get it from the dad, but the baby gets here because of the mom. So they make it, the mom is the main focus. So they make it for it to be normal.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Like, cause it's as simple as you said. And
they're also using the word cannabis.
Oh yeah, that is crazy too.
They're not using.
That one is crazy.
They're not doing like a white mom and like.
They don't put marijuana in those.
I'm gonna be the white mom with my yoga outfit and it says marijuana lady.
Those ads for real, all them ads directed towards like the white women all say cannabis. Yeah. Like now they're trying to get rid of the marijuana because now the marijuana is like it's still associated. Like it was created for that specific reason. Yeah. To make it like it was like this exotic, like this weird fucking thing. Yeah. You know, like, and the crazy thing, before they made it illegal, people were already using it in the United States. Yeah. Like, they were using it in the United States for, like, medicinal shit, for
clothing,
rugs. Yeah, hemp was used for clothing, was used for paper, all that, right? But then all of a sudden, because that one dude, Harry Anslinger.
Yeah, let's call him that.
all because he wanted to do it. Like, they started that campaign, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then so one thing I did find out that I didn't know is that Mexicans were actually the first ones in the United States to introduce smoking weed.
Esa es mi raza.
Like, because like I said, in the United States there was already weed.
Yeah.
But in like 1910 there was a war in Mexico. 1910, what war was in 1910? Check. Google that shit. But in the meantime, right? So there was a war or whatever, and a lot of Mexicans came up to the United States because they wanted to start working and all this shit. So what ended up happening once they came up here, they just started smoking. And then like all the white people seen it, and it got popular amongst the white people too.
Uh-huh.
But then that's when the dude came in and he was able to, oh shit. Oh, was this during the Mexican Revolution? That's crazy.
Okay.
My goof ass. Yeah, so during the Mexican Revolution, they came up and that's when they was like smoking it, and it got popular with the white people, right? The white people started doing it, but then that's where dude came in and he started creating them ads, and he started like saying that dead ass man, white women were gonna all end up getting like inseminated by minorities, and everyone started freaking out, losing their fucking mind.
Everyone started freaking out because they thought they were gonna lose their moms.
Right. So back to the moms.
Yeah, back to the mom thing. White women are the focus.
And then so one of the like the very interesting things also that I found out like while looking into this shit is like, you think about, right, like drug cartels came up, right, and they have all this money, and it's like they're so bad, blah blah blah, this and that. It was really the same thing when they tried to do the prohibition on alcohol.
Yeah.
That was when crime was at its highest.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why it was so unmaintainable, because genuinely the government started seeing that they would have to get all these white people in trouble along with the black people, because when it came to alcohol, there was no way around it, yo. Like,
and alcohol has been
because look, that was the only crazy thing about the Prohibition era, that shit like kind of put a halt to like the whole like kind of like racism type shit, because all the people would hang out together basically. Yeah. Because they were all doing the illegal shit. They're like, well, fuck it type. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, but anyway, so like that was one of the biggest things. Like the government saw like, yo, like we're really gonna have to like, if we really want to enforce it, like we're gonna have to put everyone behind bars type shit. So that's why they just couldn't handle it. Like it was just no point. Yeah. But the crazy thing, there was all that gang violence type shit, right? As soon as they made it legal, boom. Like that shit was gone, because there was no need for it no more. The only reason they were doing it was just because they were the only people willing to do that part of the job. Yeah. To do that part of the illegal activity, like kill people and get it. Yeah. Right? And then another idea that actually came to me, and I don't know if you heard this one, but it kind of like it was deep to me, right? It was like, basically, it's not the drug itself that creates the violence, right? When it comes to drug trade. What creates the violence is really the fact that it's illegal. Exactly. Right? And so like it's as simple as this. Like, so let's say you got Coca-Cola and Pepsi, right? And Pepsi goes and steals Coca-Cola's formula, and they're taking some of Coca-Cola's money. Yeah. What do you think the Coca-Cola person would want to do if he didn't have these laws in place where he could sue him? Yeah. Where he could like actually like be like, yo man, like they stole my fucking formula.
Yeah, like let me call the cops.
Right. Right? Like drug dealers can't do that. Yeah. Right? But I swear to God, I know if the owner of the CEO of Coke and the CEO of Pepsi, right, if something like that shit really happened, and they weren't like legal companies, I know for a fact that shit would be like, it would be the same thing, because like, yo, hold up, you taking out of my pocket. Like it's the same thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But they just have to find the way of like kind of protecting their business. Yeah. And be like, I'm more powerful. If you disrespect me or do this to me, I will kill you. Right. They'll be like, I'll kill your family. Right. And that's because like once you play dirty, you play dirty. It has to, yeah. So, you basically all in. Yeah. But yeah, so that's one of the biggest arguments towards legalization, is that you really, really could like cut out all that whole industry, all that whole crime. Yeah. Essentially. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One of the interesting things, right? So Portugal,
Mhm.
Portugal, they decriminalize
Mhm.
all drugs, right? And all decriminalize means is they don't put you in jail for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So basically, what they try to do, let's say that you're doing drugs, whatever they see you, they just kind of make you take treatment, or they refer you to someone that can give you treatment, right?
Mhm.
And I believe the treatment's free if I'm not mistaken. But so anyways, they start on this treatment, right? They get what they need, and they've been doing that I think for like 10 years, 10 years, 13 years, something like that. And like their fucking drug use problem
Mhm.
has gone down drastically.
Mhm.
Not only that, like their HIV has gone down drastically,
Mhm.
right? Because basically making it all legal, kind of like, and making it all legal and then just kind of treating them if they do have an addiction problem. Because that's the thing, there's some people that like, they'll get into drugs
Yeah.
and they'll be fine because they really don't have like an addiction problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so like it focuses more on treating the actual problem of
Yeah.
addiction or like abuse.
Yeah.
And that shit has worked out for them like crazy.
Yeah.
When I seen that one, I was like, damn, like really decriminalize everything?
Yeah.
That
I
shit
feel
dead ass work?
like since they don't put them in jail and stuff like that, they don't take away the drugs from them like right away. So
okay.
where they don't crave them or like want to do them.
Yeah.
But they do supply them with the drugs. They do supply them with needles, right?
Oh, that's in Switzerland.
Oh, Switzerland. Yeah, I
that
know. I
one's
was
that one's in
like,
Switzerland.
okay,
In Switzerland, they
wrong place.
they legalize heroin.
Uh-huh.
And then go ahead, yeah. So at the treatment plants, they do provide them with needles and heroin.
And most of them, a good more than half, are happy and like get jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's like every like.
No, and then so like one of the crazy things that they and this is nuts, right? Because basically this is behind that whole theory is like a thing. But so what I was gonna say is, like there has been, ever since they did that, there has been no overdose deaths.
Okay.
On legal heroin, right?
Uh-huh.
There's continued to be illegal heroin overdose, but all the people that look for the legal heroin and they like either find the treatment to get off of it, or they just do it like at a manageable rate and they continue their work and their life outside, right? So like the people that they take the legal one and they just use it, right? They end up being fine and they don't overdose ever, right? Because they understand it's a regular supply, and because obviously that at that point the government can make sure they're giving it at a dose that'll give them the desired effect. Yeah. But it won't be lethal, because that's the problem too with a lot of like heroin overdoses, is that it's not always because they've been doing it so much. What it is like that they just start doing the ingredients differently because they need to make it more. They need to get it out more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
They want to get the best supply or have the one that's
most powerful. Yeah.
And then also since they don't have it often, they could also be like, oh, give me more. Like they wouldn't know they wouldn't have no self-control. As to over here, they have a little bit more of mind and self-control. So that's why they're like, okay, just I have to go to work, or I still have to do this, where there's still
the Switzerland one's
there's
crazy.
Still a little bit of like improvement. Yeah. And over here it's just like boom. Yeah. Like you go to jail, you're out. Because that's the thing. Tweaking about it, then you get released from jail, and here you go again, and then it's just where that becomes a cycle, and where they have That's
the thing too. It's like, because like sometimes you look at it like you make all these drugs illegal, and then there's the people that they genuinely do get into depression. You know what I'm saying? Like a family member dies, so and so happened, whatever it is happens. Yeah. And that's how they get into the drug, right? Yeah. And it's like they don't want to be addicted to it. You're like an addict, like literally like oh fuck, I'm so happy I'm addicted to this shit. No. I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like no. But anyway, so like then you put them in jail, right? Then they have this fucking criminal record. Yeah. They try to go get a job. People are gonna look at them weird as fuck. Yeah. Then they're like, fuck, I don't got a job. Fuck. I feel like shit again. Might as well just fucking do the same shit.
So like you were saying with the depression, okay, like once you go in depression, you know, that means like you're holding on to the past, you know, you're still stuck in the past. That's what depression is. But okay, so the American would be like super addicted to it just because he wouldn't be able to ask for help.
Oh yeah.
The same way the other.
Yeah, so like in Switzerland, the people that they go get the treatment, they do help those people look for jobs. Yeah. They help those people like get housing. Yeah. All that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they actually treat the problems that causes the drug addiction in the first place. Yeah. So that's what really helps them get over it. Instead
of them like taking it away completely, because then I feel like once the person is depressed, they'll be like, how would they take this away? This gets my pain. Yeah, so it like it's like
a cycle.
It's a cycle. It's a state of mind that crazy. It's just like I'll circle out.
So like basically the idea behind Portugal and Switzerland, which makes actually a decent amount of sense, right? Yeah. Like it doesn't matter how hard the government, how hard police try to get rid of drugs. Yo, like they're just not gonna get rid of them. Yeah. They're just not. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. It's that simple. Literally. So basically, that's the whole ideology. The whole ideology. Yeah, the whole ideology behind Portugal and Switzerland, right? Yeah. Like that there's no way they can get rid of the drugs, so might as well make it available to them. Yeah. That way they can control how much is in it. Yeah. That way they can give them treatment for abuse, all the, like
and to accept it as a freaking
like it's there. Like country. What are you gonna do? Yeah, like
we probably don't want to accept that, don't want to go that route because that's not what we want to do.
Right. It's just not, but it's like, that's what it is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Instead, like, we have like, we're the most violent.
Yeah, for real.
Crazy.
Fucking, the United States has the most people in jail in the entire fucking world. Right? Like, that's crazy as fuck. But, so like, it's like when you actually sit down and think about it, it makes way more sense if everything was legal and they just like, fucking, well, not legal. You see, and that's the thing too. Like, there's a huge difference between legal and decriminalized.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, maybe the United States shouldn't be selling heroin or crack or coke, whatever it is. I get that. Yeah. But like, instead of just sending motherfuckers in jail, like, what about actually trying to help them? Yeah. You know, and I get the whole thing. Like, a lot of people is gonna be like, "That's not my fucking problem." Yeah. You know, but as human beings, though.
But you never know who might be in depression next.
You might not know who gets addicted. Yeah. There'd be hella fucking just like higher middle class families that end up getting a whole addict son. You know, so it's like just in the grand scheme of things, like what if like
just to help each other out,
what if these motherfuckers just help type shit, like
and I'm pretty sure there are places in the United States, I didn't look into that do try to help
for sure
people, and you know, probably do supply them with clean needles because clean needles are easy to get. Yeah. But
that was one of the things too that they provided in Switzerland. They made sure, like, because basically the dirty needles is also what leads to HIV amongst heroin addicts.
And they even gave them a private room.
To do it in. Yeah.
Damn, they got the hookup.
Yeah, they got a whole treatment. That shit crazy. But yeah, like it's wild to think about, you know, because like I said, it's like when someone's addicted to something, a drug, whatever it is, I doubt that they're like, oh yeah, I'm so happy I'm addicted. Like, like they have to realize in their own mind, and there's no way they don't, that they're like, fuck man, like this shit really like keeps fucking getting me. Like I wish I could stop. Yeah. Cause that's what it becomes. It just becomes like a habit, and then it's just hard. It's hella hard, and then once you're stuck in like in your own thinking of like, fuck, like I'm addicted, like that's when it's over. So it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy as fuck. Like reading this article, and the crazy thing too is it sheds so much light on the fact, like, whoa, marijuana use has really been relatively equal between whites and minorities. Yeah. Since like forever. Yeah. But like minorities have been in jail fucking way more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fucking nuts. In Louisiana, some dude some black dude got sentenced to 13 years for having 2 joints. He served a total of 7 of those years, right? He had kids, like he had daughters, and like what? Like how many kids you don't know that run around with 2 joints all the time?
Yeah.
And like so, like you know what's crazy too? Was I keep saying what's crazy? Like shit be fucking straight up blowing my mind. But so the states with the harshest penalties for marijuana and drugs, you know what states those are? States with the higher populations of black people than other states.
Yeah, why isn't it high in Maine?
Yo.
Oh, Maine has...
Did y'all know Maine is like 90% white?
Yeah, and 8%...
Wait, hold on. Let me get that number right.
8%.
Yeah, Maine population is 94.8% white and 1.5% black.
Okay.
I was like, they have legal weed, by the way, for recreational. I was like, Maine? You don't ever hear about Maine. That's what I'm saying.
I'm thinking
so they just up there chilling type shit.
They're out there tea partying.
The Tea Party? That is like that whole strip where like...
I always wanted to go over there because I'm fascinated.
To that whole side, right?
I'm fascinated by
vintage.
I'm fascinated by vintage houses.
Oh, they probably do got some old like English style shit. Yeah,
and smoke some
road trip.
Like imagine like, hey you guys, welcome. We're going to Maine.
Yeah,
I'll
that
be
actually
like, why
would
are
be
you not
cool.
going to California?
We would just hit that whole like Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Connecticut. Oh, Connecticut.
Oh, I don't know. Connecticut just scared me.
I like Connecticut. That one's weird.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
Who you know that been to Connecticut?
Massachusetts.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know anybody that.
I never been on that been to Massachusetts.
True.
Or Connecticut. Or Maine. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I didn't even know people lived in Maine. You crazy? Just a lonely ass state. But so yeah, what's y'all's thoughts like on that whole thing? Yeah, I'm real curious. Make sure y'all hit the comments, cause like I said, like the more I started looking into it, the more I was like, damn, yo, like this shit was really kind of created to kind of basically like just keep pounding away on the minorities.
Yeah.
So you know what's one of the crazy things, right? And it could be just timing, right? But the article does raise the question.
Okay.
Right? Or I believe, it was this article. So like during the finish of the civil rights movement, like towards the end, right?
Okay.
That's when the president started getting these very strong views on like drugs and trying to create a war on drugs and trying to create more patrol amongst like the black communities and all that, right? So like there's this theory that low key it was just like to try to maintain that stronghold and try to maintain that superiority over the minorities by keeping them just going in and out of jail for the rest of their lives, basically.
So would that be called white privilege?
That would create that whole the white privilege theory is fucking crazy because like it's just nuts.
I'm so sorry, I'm laughing. This is just
it's crazy. It's a crazy topic.
Yeah.
Like so like the white privilege thing too. They do talk about that in the article. Did you have something you want to say about that?
No, it was just going along.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so in the article it talks about like how the white privilege is like basically take it like this, right? And this is a similar way to how I've been looking at it. So like slavery was going on, right, for a while. And then after slavery, just because slavery ended, blacks didn't get all the rights. They really fucking didn't, yo. They couldn't go to like regular ass schools. They couldn't play regular fucking sports. They couldn't continue their education. In a lot of places, they still wouldn't let them own land, even though they fucking legally could. Even though they could technically vote, they were very fucking discriminated from voting in most fucking places. They wouldn't fucking let them vote type shit, right? So think about that, right? They were dealing with that shit with that shit heavily up until the 1970s.
Yeah, that's not that long ago.
1960s, all right? If we want to be really, really technical, like 1960s, right? But the war on drugs was really aimed at keeping minorities like suppressed, right? In my own personal opinion, that's what I believe. So we'll say all the way up until the 1970s, right? In all reality.
Mm-hmm.
So like you think about that from the 1700s all the way up
Mm-hmm.
until fucking 1970, they weren't really allowed to like continue to succeed, continue to grow, continue to create wealth amongst generations, pass down wealth amongst different families. You know what I'm saying?
And even when they were allowed, there was still, I believe there was still a huge gap of generations that didn't know how to didn't know how to do
what I'm saying,
the normal activities. So it took, from that time, it still took a long
so that's what I'm saying. Like
time.
That's where the white privilege comes at. There was basically those 200 years. No, shit, not 200 years. Like 2,000 years, boy. From like, no, not 2,000. Like, all right, so let's say like 18.
And you guys get it a long
1800.
time.
Yeah, 1,000. Damn, hold on, I'm tweaking out now.
Okay, let's not really focus on that because I understand what you're saying.
From the 1800s right to 1970, and damn, super bad at math. But yeah, so they had that whole long ass time where they couldn't like fucking do nothing, right? Yeah. And during that whole time, like white people really were allowed to like keep advancing, to keep creating wealth, to keep learning, keep educating themselves. Yeah. Right, like that's a huge ass gap, man.
Yeah. And now we see that again.
That's a huge ass gap.
Like he said, in the states where it's mostly a higher white population, they have a lower fine to pay to open dispensaries.
Oh yeah. That is crazy as fuck. I'm about to do some math.
And then at the end of her article, Carmen says, "What can I do to be an ally?"
170 years, 2,000 years. Yo, I'm fucking dead, boy. I'm fucking dead. Oh my god. Yeah, right? Yeah, my goofy ass is wild.
I'm just like, okay, like I get it, a long ass time.
That shit fucking wild. But so, yeah, but that's like 170 years, just about, like literally almost 200 years. Yeah, that's what it was, 200 years. 2,000 years? Damn, 2,000 years ago though. Shit was like, damn. Yeah. Shit was like crazy shit.
Yeah.
That's a long fucking time ago. 2,000 years ago? Can you imagine it? Yo, like time is wild as fuck. Like it's just like a created ass thing.
To keep it organized.
Yeah, basically just to
have
like
a structure on.
That's all it ever was.
It's crazy because after I read something about time like that, I said, "Oh my god, I have all of the time in the world."
Yeah, it's crazy. But so like I was saying, so yeah, it's like they just really. Like throughout 200 years, they were not really allowed the ability to advance. Yeah. Whereas the white people really were allowed to advance. Like, so that's why there's such a huge gap, though. Yeah. You know, and the fucked up thing is, like, I understand how it gets portrayed to white people and why it bothers white people. Like, I genuinely get it, right? Yeah. So like, you tell a white person like, oh, it's because there's white privilege, they will flip out. There's obviously white people that understand, but some white people will flip the fuck out. Like, what the fuck do you mean white privilege? I worked for everything I have. Like, I had to pay for my own school. I had to do this. I'm like, okay, like, I get that. Right? I do. I genuinely do. And I genuinely do believe to a certain extent, it is it's one's own responsibility to, like, salir adelante, to, like, keep pushing forward, right? Yeah. But you gotta think about the fact, like, okay, yeah, maybe you had to pay for your school, but you was living in a better area where it was easier for you to focus on school, where it was easier for you to go find a job, and they would actually hire you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a touchy subject with a lot of people, but I genuinely think like the fucking like the facts is pretty cold hard like that. Like, yo, like black people really were oppressed. Yeah. Hard as fuck, like literally for like 200 fucking years. And I say black people mainly because Latinos, we've suffered through that minority shit too. Yeah. And as of recently, honestly, like I think the roles has really kind of switched a little bit, and like it's like fuck, like they really coming after Latinos heavy. But like Latinos never really had to deal with like that whole slavery thing type shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's
Or
really where
have
it's
like a gap of not succeeding or anything.
Right, like just that whole that full like
Yeah.
just wild ass oppression is crazy. It's just nuts
Yeah.
to think about and actually like put into perspective.
There was also Chinese immigrants, which she talks about in her article.
Yeah.
I wrote down one of her lines. It says whites were able to successfully force Chinese immigrants out of the workforce and make it all but illegal to be Chinese in the United States.
Yeah, that's
I was
crazy.
like, oh
like
my
they literally,
God,
so basically
that's so crazy.
what that's referring to is when Chinese railroad workers, like they started working, they were getting paid, they were willing to get paid a lot less than like the American workers. So they were taking a lot of their jobs, but the white people didn't like that. So basically they also started saying that the Chinese, because the Chinese did do like they had heroin, they had opiates, but they would say that they were trying to poison America with their opiates and all this and that, and then so that's how they raised that stigma against the Asians and got them out of the fucking workforce, man.
And you don't really hear a lot about the Chinese. You always hear about the bigger minorities, which is African Americans and Mexicans.
Yeah.
Because Chinese, obviously,
Yeah,
it's on the
I don't
other
think
side.
they ever talked about that.
Yeah, it's on the other side, so there wasn't as many. So that's
true.
why you don't really
as, like,
hear about it. But I could ask my uncle; he'll tell me something about Mexicans.
Yeah, that shit's fucking wild,
But
man.
yeah, so that's why I said Chinese. I was like,
yeah, they really don't talk about that super often in school type shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let us know your thoughts for real. Let us know if y'all fuck with podcasts like this, like informational kind of ones.
Yeah, let us know what you learned.
Yeah, let us know if the stuff, or even if y'all got some other facts that you want to just like,
other articles that you guys want us to read.
Talk about, or if you got counter arguments. Where like if you got counter arguments, hit them bitches in the comments, and deadass, like if y'all wanna come talk about this shit, like let us know. We down to talk shit.
You guys have to bring treats.
You
guys have to bring me a joint.
Edibles.
This is the joint talk.
But yeah, so let us know your thoughts for real. Hit the comments, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. We come on just with like whatever topics, man, and genuinely
anything that we're interested in.
Genuinely, if y'all want us to talk about anything, hit them bitches in the comments, boy. We will talk about it.
Yeah, let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for our other high videos.
Check out the links in the bios. Check out the links in the bio for
you
the
just
IGs.
said the same thing.
No, I said links in the bios, and then the second one I said links in the bio. But yeah, check them out. Check us out on Instagram, all that shit. You already know.
Yeah.
And for real, check out our other videos.
Yeah, and I will be linking my YouTube video
down in my
description. So
she did my makeup for her YouTube video. So go click on that, bitches.
Yeah.
That's just funny as fuck too.
It was funny.
She did a poppin' ass look, boy. I was in the zone.
I did a glam look. We will be talking about what the gum decay pose is. So if you guys want to know what the gum decay pose is,
we got it. Go check it out. Yes, done.